Hi, this is Robert from Rob's Relaxed Celebs. I thought for this year's end of year review I'd give you a bit of a history of RRC, because it began back in 1989 as a BBS, a bulletin board service, whereby my home computer would be connected to the world via a modem that would allow people to actually dial in, connect to a text-based menu system, browse files, upload and download celebrity files. It was really quite popular at the time, so friends and family could actually rarely get through to our phone line. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any video of the original RRC BBS. What you're looking at is a simulator, an idea of what to expect. It was heavily text-based and really very slow to use. Incidentally, people have been asking me why it's called Rob's Relaxed Celebs. Honestly, I didn't really give it much thought back in the day. I probably had in mind the sort of picture that you just saw of Kate Garraway reclining on the sofa with her shoes off. But really, it was a bulletin board for all UK female celebs, but there was a slight foot fetish bias. I know, something you've already noticed. After a while, the single phone line was unsustainable, but I was able to upgrade to one of the newfangled ISDN lines that BT introduced in the early 1990s. I think BT have only just phased them out. Anyway, I was able to have multiple phone lines coming in and out of the house, and my wife was able to get on to use the phone again. In the early 90s, Tim Berners-Lee gave us the World Wide Web, and it was the beginning of the end for dial-up bulletin boards like mine. The bulletin board carried on until 1994, but it was being used less, and those same phone lines were now needed to connect to the likes of CompuServe or AOL to start surfing the web. And remember, back in those days, spending hours online through a phone line would rank up hundreds of pounds in phone calls each month. In 1995, RRC went online. I rented a dedicated Unix server with some disk space. This was before that there were reliable file sharing services like PixHost or RapidGator, so I had to incur the bandwidth charges myself, which could be pretty substantial. Again, I don't have any original video of what the site looked like. What you're looking at here is a CD-ROM that I used to sell to help recoup the cost of the bandwidth, but it looks pretty similar to the site. It was relatively crudely generated using a database back-end to generate the HTML code. I used something called DataRees at the time, which amazingly you can still buy these days. The website chugged on for several more years until the end of the century, when my work commitments became too great for it to carry on as a hobby. And then not much happened really to 2019, when my work commitments lessened. Well, okay, I retired, and I thought I'd resurrect the old RRC, and this time I'd do it as a YouTube channel, and I think it's gone down pretty well so far, so thank you to everyone for being here. I have no further plans to expand or do anything other than carry on. This isn't the type of channel that can be monetized, and that's fine. If you do ever see an advert incidentally against one of these videos, then it's just YouTube's right to monetize clause, where they're allowed to run adverts against anything, even if the channel itself isn't monetized. So back to those lovely stats that I know you were here for in the first place. Thank you.
Called Plan B, the new COVID restrictions for England, like wearing masks in most
northern city of Chernihiv. John Donison reports. And always will outwit their parents.
Thanks.
That was an easy day at work, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it probably
Only 2 pairs are going to make the final and perform.
Tom is still mine.
Thank you very much.